What is up, guys, and welcome to the Strength of Body and Mind podcast. I am your host. My name is Gordon Light. This is episode number 8, and this is going to be all about developing patience. Patience for fitness, patience for results aesthetically, patience for results in health, patience for nutritional results, all the above, okay? But before I get into all that, if you've never listened to the podcast before, if this is your first time listening to the Strength of Body and Mind podcast at all, I want to talk real quickly about what this podcast is, why it was created, why the brand was created, and what it's all about. Okay, so I believe deep down in my core, 1000%, that the mind and body have a stronger connection than most people think. A lot of people talk about it, but not enough. And then there's a lot of people that don't talk about it at all or don't understand it, and I respect that. Okay, this is almost a movement that I want to start, where I want to get people to try to wrap their heads around the fact that our mind controls so much of what our body achieves, and that the results that we get with our body on a day-to-day basis, and when I say results, I mean every single thing, gym-related, fitness-related, nutritional-related, even just everyday stuff, okay? All of that is a cycle. It feeds a cycle. The thing is totally cyclic, where it provides confidence and self-belief and a lot of internal motivating factors for ourselves at the mindset level, which then drive disciplines and habits and day-to-day actions that allow us to continue to achieve those physical results, which one more time just cycles back around to the mindset and fuels that to strengthen those disciplines, strengthen those habits, strengthen those day-to-day actions. And you can see the pattern just going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And I've experienced this for myself, and I was aware that it was happening when it happened. And I can now look back and I can almost pinpoint certain events in time and like different periods where I saw myself locking in that cycle. And for me, fitness related, when I would achieve a fitness-based or aesthetic-based or strength-based goal, even like a smaller micro goal, I would develop confidence, I would develop a lot of self-belief, and I would then develop better habits and better disciplines to continue driving in that direction and capitalizing on that. And I think everybody is capable of this. I think it does go way beyond fitness, but we're going to stick to that fitness and health-related, nutritional-related things. So that is it, strength of body and mind. Okay, so let's dive right into patience. Okay, I also, since we're talking about beliefs, I firmly believe also at the deepest part of my core that most people don't have a good relationship with patience. Patience is something that's considered just a giant pain in the ass, and all it does is get in the way, and it goes against everything that we like to experience on a day-to-day basis, which is instant gratification. And, this is something that a lot of people talk about, and it's pretty widely understood that we like things quickly. We like Amazon Prime because we get our shit in 2 days. We like Wi-Fi everywhere we go. We like to go to Starbucks or Dunkin' Donuts or something and have Wi-Fi so that we can check our phones, so that we can get our emails instantly, and we don't have to wait until we get to a part where we have better cell service or until we get to a place like an office or our home where we have Wi-Fi. We can check our email there. No, we need to be able to check it whenever, wherever. And we need to be able to check our Instagram whenever, wherever, all this instant gratification stuff. And so the mere concept of patience is ludicrous to most people. And, another thing that baffles me is relationships. So people get into relationships and they end up getting married, or they take it to this really, really far extreme. They move in or they buy a house together or something like that. And they haven't really gotten to know each other on a really deep level because that takes time. There's no way to expedite that. And because there's no way to expedite that, the instant gratification is impossible for that. But people do it anyway. And if only they had the patience to wait it out and just kind of like stay the course and watch the whole thing unfold, they would have a much clearer understanding of what to do rather than just make a decision and if it ends up being a shit show, put out the fire later. The more conservative approach is to wait it out and be patient and see what happens and how it unfolds, and then make the strong sort of data-backed decision. And so that is essentially what I'm talking about here now, okay? So it's a mind game through and through. It's a mind game 1,000%, and it directly correlates with our physical results, okay? So this particular podcast, since we're talking about mindset stuff, we're talking about mental discipline strengthening and how that relates to physical development and strength development and health development and all the continuous improvements that we have for our bodies. I want to take a really, really close look at how patience can be developed to make all of that happen. Okay, because once again, I firmly believe that every single person on the planet, especially those, or including those who are struggling with a fitness or weight or health related thing that can be combated or fixed or addressed or helped or developed or improved upon by developing mindset related things, can make this change. I firmly believe that. And I know this because I've seen so many people go through that, okay, where they went through some sort of mental transformation and then subsequently the physical transformation, whatever it was, followed suit. And these are people, in some cases, where I don't think anybody had any expectation that they would go through something like that, because they've seen years and years and years of bad habits, or years and years and years of maybe not terrible habits, but mediocre average habits that, because of a variety of factors like genetics and things like that, those mediocre or average habits kind of set that person on a decline over time. But again, because they fixed the mindset and they were able to develop one of the key things, which is patience, they were able to pull themselves out of that. Okay. So, I mean, if you think about it, if every single person was capable of having patience and a clear vision, and let's just for a quick second step out of the whole fitness thing and the health related thing, just for a quick second. If you had unlimited patience and you had a clear vision, right, like a crystal clear vision of what you wanted, I think you and everybody else who was able to do that would have and be able to achieve everything that they've always wanted. Okay. But it so happens included in that is the body and weight and strength that they may have also always wanted. Okay. I mean, the whole thing about having patience and a clear vision and executing on that can be translated so many different ways, and it can be utilized in so many different ways in other areas of life and obviously outside fitness. So why is patience so important? Why do I harp on it so much? Why do I think that it is one of the key, if not the most critical key component to this whole thing? It's because most people, I honestly believe, and think about this for a second, I honestly believe that most people have a strong work ethic. I think that most people are not stupid. I think that most people understand hard work. I think most people understand that they need to do some sort of something and put in some sort of effort in order to get a result in anything. Okay? I mean, even down to the basics. Your teeth aren't going to brush themselves. You have to brush your teeth, which means you have to physically pick up a toothbrush, put toothpaste on it, and brush your teeth. Okay? It takes effort. Even though it's not a lot, it takes effort. Pumping gas. One of the things that I hate more than anything in the world is stopping to pump gas. Okay? It takes like 4 minutes. But you got to do it. It takes effort. Everybody pumps gas. All right? If you have a car and you want to go somewhere, you need to put gas in it. A lot of people have jobs. Okay? Most people have a job, right? You go to a job and you do your job. And all this stuff takes effort. Most people have enough work ethic to do whatever they need to do to survive, to make money, to buy food, to feed their family, to put a roof over their head, all of that stuff, right? This is pretty basic stuff. And all of those things take way less effort. And I'm just talking specifically effort, the word effort. It takes way less effort to do all of that than it does to take care of your body. It just does. The amount of actual effort that is needed and work ethic that is needed to take care of your body is very small. It pales in comparison to doing all of that other regular everyday life shit. Okay? To go to the gym or to work out at home or to go for a run or to do something along those lines, hop on a bike, whatever, for 60 minutes or 30 minutes or 45 minutes or 20 minutes several times a week does not take that much effort. It doesn't take a lot of physical effort, and you can actually get into a point where you're kind of going through the motions and still making progress. You have the ability to do that. Everybody has the ability to do that. Okay? But what people don't have the ability to do is to wrap their minds around doing it, wrapping their minds around the fact that if they don't do it, they won't make progress. And then the other part, which is the key takeaway for this whole podcast, is that when you do it once, you're not going to see a result. When you do it 6 times, you're not going to see a result. When you do it 30 times, you're probably going to see a small result. When you do it 100 times, you're going to see a big result. When you do it 1,000 times, you're going to see an incredible, amazing result. Okay? That's what people don't understand. And it's not even that they don't hear the words when people talk about it, that yes, a transformation, or yes, a big picture goal, or yes, a big strength achievement or something takes months or years to achieve. It's not that they don't hear the words when people talk about that stuff and say, yeah, I know, yeah, this person put in a lot of work. It's that they don't really grasp that it takes that long, and that all that person needed to do was trust the process and stay the course. Okay, it's trusting the process and staying the course and being patient enough to see that as long as you do those two things, trust the process, stay the course, that you'll actually get there. So maybe this should really be a lesson in trust, because people don't trust the process. It's almost like people don't validate, they aren't able to validate a process because they've only heard people talk about it. They've never experienced it for themselves. But because they don't trust or validate internally that a process will work and that following a certain course will work for them, they just choose to dismiss it altogether. I mean, I went to a 4-year college when I got out of high school, and I stayed the course and trusted the process, that if I went to class and I did my homework and I learned my shit and I took my tests and I did that for 4 years, that I would come out on the other side with a degree. Okay, that was mentally, like, it was torture and it was tough at times, but I trusted the process and I stayed the course. And I'm not special. I'm not an anomaly or anything. Anybody can do it. And it was actually that time of my life when I did all that, that I learned the same thing can apply to fitness. If I can just trust the process and stay the course, I'll see the results, rather than pretend to trust the process, get a month into it, and then quit, or get 2 weeks into it and then decide to go eat a whole pizza, or get 3 days into it and decide that I'm not going to eat, this clean food and all this stuff and stick to my macros or whatever. I'm going to go off the rails and eat a bunch of candy and shit. It's because I saw what trusting the process and staying the course can do for me that I was able to then apply it. And I wasn't lazy before that, and I didn't not have work ethic before that. I just didn't know how to stay the course. I didn't have patience to stay on that course because I didn't trust it internally and I hadn't validated it internally. Okay. And that's really what it comes down to, is having the patience to trust a process and having the patience to allow your brain to fully digest the results that you get from staying on a certain course. Okay, it's a complete mental game. So how do you develop patience? Okay, besides like hearing the words that, yes, I have to trust that if I do this workout, or trust that if I eat this stuff, I'll get the result that I want. Rather than just hearing the words and doing that, how do you develop the patience to actually do it? And for me, what I think is the easiest way to do that is to, instead of staying on this course and seeing no direct ROI for a month or 2 or 3 months at a time, I like to deconstruct things into micro goals. I like to take a big picture goal, whatever it is, and I like to deconstruct it, break it down into little micro goals. And then you can usually take those and break them down into even further micro goals. And as you tack those off 1 day at a time or 2 days at a time or whatever, you start to feel better that you're actually making progress, because you're taking those little micro goals and you're checking them off. You're scratching them out because you achieved them. Okay. And that will slowly develop patience, because you actually feel like you're taking a step forward. So an example of this would be, if I want to lose 10 pounds, my micro goal would be to obviously first lose, like, I don't know, a pound or half a pound or a quarter of a pound or something like that. That would be a micro goal. All right. So if 10 pounds and you want to lose, let's just break it up this way. There's 10 micro goals underneath that. All right. And they're all to lose 1 pound. You add them all up and you get 10 pounds. Okay. So how do you lose 1 pound? Right. Now we're in the second layer of micro goals. Well, the first thing you have to do is you have to lose like a quarter of a pound. And that could take you a few days. That could take you a week. But then you keep breaking it down layer after layer after layer. So you started with 10 pounds at the top level, and you broke it down into 10 micro goals, which are 1 pound each. And then you took those and you could break those down into little quarter pound micro goals. And then you can assign actions to do that. Action 1, eat whatever, clean food every day, and stay within my macros. And the second thing I need to do, action number 2, is to drink more water. Drink 8 ounces of water every 3 or 4 hours every single day, and scratch that off as you do it. And so now you have these little daily or hourly micro goals that feed in to all these other micro goals, which eventually stack up to be the big picture goal. And once you go through that exercise once or twice, you'll see that actually can compound so quickly into the thing that you actually want, and it can become a way to develop the patience that you need to actually get to where you want to go. And it is so crucial and critically important to weight loss and fitness goals and strength goals and health goals and all the development surrounding all of that. It is absolutely critical. So I can't say it enough, guys. Patience, staying the course, right? Following the steps that you know are going to get you there, right? Trusting the process, all of that is the key that everybody is missing. And every single person, I think, is capable of that. There is no lottery when you're born that says this person is able to be patient and this person is not able to be patient. I don't really believe that. I think people take the most like ADD, hyperactive dude you can find in the world and tell me that that person's not patient. I refuse to believe it. And then take the most passive, like maybe introverted, quiet, like real methodical, analytical person in the world and tell me that they're the most patient. I'm calling bullshit on that too. That doesn't mean anything. Those are outward traits, and those are things about that person. Those are specific characteristics about those people, but that doesn't mean that they can't develop patience, right? Patience is like breathing oxygen. Everybody can do it. You can choose not to do it, or you can choose to do it. And over time, if you do it enough, it can become almost like breathing, where it's completely innate and you don't even really know you're doing it. You can start to develop the ability to trust the process and follow a course that you have in your mind to get you to a goal that is almost background, sort of like second nature type stuff. And I'm serious about that. I'm like 100% full in on that. I believe it 1000%. And I think everybody can do it. So that's it, guys. Patience, right? And if you know anybody that's in your life that is struggling with this concept, that needs to understand that they need to take a step back and be a little bit more patient and be a little bit more trusting of that workout or that diet or that routine or that regimen or whatever, in order to get the goal that they always talk about wanting to actually be able to do, send them this podcast, have them check it out. I think it's critically important that everybody hears it because I also firmly believe that everybody can do it. Okay, guys, that's it. Once again, thank you so much. See ya.